Hello and welcome. I'm Diana and this is Chair Fitness. It's our stretch and strengthen variation of our class today. And today is August the 13th, 2026. Thank you so much for choosing to move with me. Today we have a shorter supplies list. We're going to need that sturdy dining room chair of yours, or it can be an office chair, but we want it without wheels. Today we're going to use a light or light medium resistance band. And it doesn't actually have to have handles like mine, okay? It can just be a physical therapy band. It could even be a circular band if that's what you're working with. And once again, we're looking for a medium light resistance for that for you. In addition to those two supplies, we need our water to stay hydrated throughout class. So that nice big glass of water or water bottle close by, all right? Today, how this class is going to move is we're going to start off with our seated stretches. We'll move from our seated stretches into our standing stretches, oftentimes with the support of the chair back. After that, we'll move through our warm-up, and then we'll move into our circuits that will repeat 2 times, oftentimes, once again, using the chair seat or the chair back for support, all right? Today, I'm gonna have you join me to start the class in that chair of yours, and I want you to bring your hips up about halfway or 2/3 of the way up the chair so that you're in a position where you can ground the soles of your feet into the floor, all right? Go ahead and take a big breath in with me, reach your shoulders up by your ears, and then exhale, release them down and back. Now, as you know, we oftentimes start off with a breath practice, so I'm going to have you bring one hand to the belly center and one hand to the chest center. And if you're comfortable with it, go ahead and close your eyes down. Gently bring your chin downward and slightly back to bring a little more length to the back of your neck. And then join me in just a regular full breath in, maybe feeling the belly and the chest hands expand. And then open up your mouth, let that out. And then we'll go ahead and work on some diaphragmatic breath today. And so we're looking for the chest hand to stay stationary and the belly hand to expand and contract. So go ahead and join me on your next breath in. Feel the belly hand extend forward. Sip in a little more air. And then exhale, press the navel center back towards your spine. Expel the air. Beautiful. 4 more like that. Breathe in. Fill up the lung cavities. Let the diaphragm drop low. Feel the belly hand expand. Exhale, press the air out. The belly hand moves in. Once again, the chest hand is just stationary. Breathe in. Breathe out. Fill up. And empty. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and rest your hands back into your lap. Let your eyes flutter open. We're going to move from here into our half and full neck circles. We'll start by dropping the chin to the chest and then roll the right ear over to your right shoulder. If you have space beside your chair, go ahead and reach through the left fingertips. Extend that arm. Take a breath in. And then pull fingertips away from the crown of your head on your exhale. Beautiful. No need to get aggressive here, just gentle. And then bring your chin back through the midline. And then tuck your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Extend that right arm out. Once again, be gentle with yourself. Take a breath in. And then create some distance between the top of the head and the fingertips. Beautiful. One more time to the right, chin back to chest, and then over to that right side. Reach to the left, big breath in. chin back to chest, over to the left, reach to the right, big breath in, big breath out. And then almost just like that, we're gonna come back to the chest and over to the right, but this time roll back, lift your chin up to the sky, and make your way down to the left. And then we'll roll to the left and lift your chin up and make your way down to the right. Beautiful work. Straighten all the way up tall. We're going to take some shoulder shrug circles. First, we're going to elevate, pull back, depress, and then it's almost like a scoop as we come under and forward again. Here's 2. Here's our scoop. 3 and 4 and 5. Beautiful work, friends. Go the other way, tuck under. It's a backward scoop and up and around. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Next, we're going to open the chest, so arms fly out to a wide T, and then take your fingers past your chest, past your shoulders, stretch your chest. And then we're going to swing that right arm across the chest, hook the left arm under, and then pull that right arm in and across your body. Take a breath in. Stay for the breath out. Great job. Once again, open up. Bring those fingertips back beyond your shoulders. And then this time, sweep the left arm across. Hook the right elbow and hug that left arm in. Big breath in. Take it across a little further on your breath out. One more time each way. Open all the way up. Expand across the chest, maybe in across the throat by tilting the head back. And then we're going to sweep forward again. Hook the right arm. Big breath in. And out. Open up again. Big, wide eagle arms. And then take that left arm across. Hook the elbow. Big breath in and out. Beautiful work. I hope your shoulders are feeling wonderful at this point. We're going to move into some lower body next. So I'm going to have you walk your feet a little bit further forward, and maybe you bring your inner arches of your feet closer together. 2 options today for our figure 4. One looks just like a figure 4. We're going to make a crossed position through the legs, and then we're going to tilt forward to stretch out that right glute. Okay, some of us aren't comfortable in that position, but we are comfortable in a crossed leg position. This is going to stretch the same area. We're going to weave a little basket with our hands, and we're going to actually just pull that knee towards us and pull ourselves down towards that knee to stretch out this right glute, okay? Go ahead and find the variation that works for you, and then we're going to hold 3 deep breaths in that forward bend. Beautiful work. Make your way back up, uncross, and recross the second side. Take the leg variation that worked in your body and hinge forward wherever you are, weaving your basket and pulling against the knee if you need that. Beautiful. Come up to that tall spine, uncross your leg, and then we're going to supinate our palms. All right, so palms up, and we're going to reach out, fan out, and we're going to twist. So what happens when we supinate is we open up through our shoulders. All right, so the shoulders are open. We're going to twist to the right and then look over our right shoulder, taking that seated spinal twist. Take a big breath in. Use your hands to twist a little bit deeper through that stretch. Beautiful. Open back up. Supinated palms reach the arms out. Notice how my posture really opens up. And we're going to twist over to the left side. Take a big breath in and twist deeper On the exhale. Beautiful work, friends. Last little bit of love for our spine is going to be a seated cat-cow. So hands to the kneecaps, drop the chin to the chest and pull the mid-back towards the chair back. Slide your hands right up the thighs, drive your thumbs into your hip creases, pull your elbows back, lift your chin. Beautiful. Back into cat, round, tuck the chin, mid-back, back. And then work the exhale, thumbs to the hip crease, elbows back, chin up. Good, 3 more. Find that rounding, drop the chin. Find that arch, slide up the legs. Good, 2 more. Back to the kneecaps, pull against. And then up into the arch. Last one, take it forward. And pull it back. Beautiful. Find a neutral spine, get your feet grounded under you, and we're gonna just take 1 chair squat right on out of that chair for you. Okay, next we're gonna move into a high hip flexor lunge, and I really enjoy the support of that chair back for balance with this lunge. All right, what we're aiming to do is to stretch the hip flexors. All right, so from low abdomen through to the top of your thighs. And so go ahead and step 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. We're going to ground the back heel down, and you get to play around with what's comfortable in your body as far as how far the distance is between your feet, but maybe about 3 feet. And then the first thing we're going to do is tuck our tailbone down and forward. All right, you can see that little scoop in my pelvis. All right, and then if we're comfortable with it, through whatever knee is in front, we're going to bend forward to stretch the front of the thigh that's in the back. So in my case, my right hip flexor. All right, take a big breath in that stretch and stay for the exhale. Great work. Go ahead and press up and out, and we're going to switch our stance. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Once again, we don't need any knee bend. We're going to start with that tailbone tuck, and then if we're comfortable and beginning to feel the stretch in the front of that hip, we can bend the front knee. Take a big breath in and press forward a little bit more on your exhale. Excellent. I hope that felt wonderful through the hip flexors. Next, we're still behind that chair, and we're going to take our lat stretch. This is a body coming into an L shape, all right? So palms to the backrest of the chair. We're going to step our feet, once again, about 3 feet back from the chair, and we're going to let our shoulders soften towards the floor. Take a big breath in. Find a little more depth on your exhale. Great work. Walk your feet back in. Walk your way back up to that tall spine. And then we're going to slide our hands right back to our sacrum. Step your feet out to your squat distance. And then we're going to take a standing back bend. Big breath in. And a big breath out. And then if you have that chair available to you, we're going to come right into just about a halfway forward fold. Big breath in here and out. Awesome. Step your way up again. Hands back. Elbows pull towards each other. Lift your chin. Big breath in and out. And then step your feet back. Hands to the chair. It's halfway in our forward fold. Breathe in and out. Beautiful work, friends. One more time with that standing back bend. Hands back, chin lifts. Breathe in, breathe out, and then hands to the chair. Feet step back and find your forward fold. Beautiful work, friends. Press your way up. And we're going to step our feet out once again, facing each other this time in our squat distance. Hands to hips. We're going to take some gentle hip circles. So we're going to spin the hips all the way around. And this is a beautiful stretch for the outer hip, but also the inner thigh of the leg that's moving to that outward angle. All right, so this is 3. and 4 and 5, and we're gonna take those hip circles the other way. 5 and 4. Great work. 3 and 2 and 1. All right, great news. That completes our warm-up. Grab a sip of water. And I need to retie my shoe so that I don't run into a trip hazard. All right, friends. So our warm-up is gonna basically just bring our activity level up a little bit so that we're bringing a little bit more heat to our tissues. And so what we're gonna start off with is our balance knee lift. We're gonna lift one knee up and we're gonna hold it for a 2-second count at the top. Go ahead and use that chair back for your balance support. And then we're gonna touch that foot down. Go ahead and do that 10 on each leg. All right, outside leg moves up. Hold, 1, 2, brace the core, and then touch that foot down. Lift up again, 1, 2, and touch down. Here's 3, 2, touch down. 4, 2, touch down. And 5, 2, touch down. 6, 2, touch down. 7, 2, touch down. 8, 2, touch down. 9, 2, touch down. 10, 2, and release. Second side. All right, core engaged and lift up. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 9, 2, and 10, 2. Great work, friends. All right, if you have space, come right behind your chair, or if you're like me, you're just gonna move this chair all over the place today. We're gonna come behind the chair. We're gonna take an active calf raise, which means we're gonna dorsiflect, drop back on heels, use that chair back, and then we're going to plantar flex, rock up on tiptoes, all right? So go ahead and take yourself through 10 of those. Here's 2, and 3. Can you roll right down the middle of your feet instead of turning your feet inward or outward? Here's 4, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Release it. All right, now we're gonna just step away from the chair. This is a little bit of shoulder love. We're gonna make some expanding shoulder circles. So extend your arms back out into that T, soft bend in your knees. And we're starting off with our smallest circle. 3, 4, getting bigger. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Back to that T shape. We're gonna go the other way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest your arms by your sides. Lift your shoulders up. Exhale. Drop them down. Grab another sip of water. We're going to go ahead with our first strength circuit, and we're going to use that band. I'm going to run through with you all of these exercises, and then we'll go ahead and put them in action. So first, and I want to share with you, you could take this first exercise seated or standing, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you this exercise standing. We're going to extend our arms straight out in front of our chest. We're holding our band about 2 to 3 feet apart, and we're going to do a band pull apart, which is going to warm up the posterior shoulder and a lot of our postural muscles of our upper back, okay? That's exercise number 1, 10 of those, okay? Similar set of muscles on our second exercise. We're gonna come halfway into a hinge. So if you've worked a deadlift before, you know that position. We're sending our hips back, all right? And our back stays flat. We're engaging our core and all of our spinal erector muscles. And then we're going to fly our arms straight up and out to the sides to work the posterior shoulder. Okay, that's our rear deltoid fly. And then our last exercise, we're going to use that band for resistance. We're going to place it under our feet. But instead of holding the handles, I'm going to have you hold the band itself about a foot up from your feet, okay? Just like the last exercise, we're going to come into our hinge and we're going to work a banded deadlift right here where we're using the resistance of that band to hinge at the hips and make our way up and down, okay? If you need more or less resistance on that exercise, go ahead and walk your hands either closer or further from your feet, okay? So starting with exercise number 1, seated or standing, banded pull aparts, soft bend in the knees. We're gonna go for 10 reps. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Set that band aside. Work your way down into your hinge. Palms face each other. Fly wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Tuck your chin slightly to your chest. 3, 2, and 1. Work your way all the way up tall and grab that band again. We're gonna set the loop of it down on the floor and then hold the band about a foot up from your ankles or your feet, and we're gonna hinge up and down, hips back, flat back, tuck the chin, and hold at the top. I love to remind you to look about 4 feet in front of your body throughout this whole movement to help that position of your neck. Good. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Awesome. Release down. Step off of that band. Set it aside. Grab a sip of water. We're going to repeat that circuit one more time. All right. So we're back into it. It's the pull apart first. Of course, if this was too much, then just a standard variation of pull apart without resistance is a wonderful, adequate substitute for that posterior shoulder strength. Here we go with resistance or without. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work, friends. Release that band. Come down into your halfway hinge, palms face, and fly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1. Make your way up tall. We'll grab that band and we'll bring it right down beneath the feet. Hold the band just up from your ankles and hold to the top in your hinge. 1 and 2. Pull body weight back towards your heels. 3 and 4. 5 and 6. 7 and 8. Great work. 9 and 10. Amazing. Release that. Set the band aside. Have some water. And we're going to learn about circuit number 2. All right. We're going to start this with the most classic of classic exercises. It's our chair squat. Hands can be in goblet grip here at the chest, and we're going to move up and down from that chair for 10 reps, okay? At the end, your last squat, we're going to scooch your hips back to the very back of that chair so that your knees are right at the articulation point of where the chair kind of comes to an edge. And then we're going to kick our toes up to the sky, all right? No one is judging here. Maybe this is your extension today. Maybe it goes beyond mine. Wherever we are, we're working those quadriceps, okay? 10 repetitions, 10-second hold. All right, we're gonna finish off with one last banded exercise. It's the same foot position as that deadlift earlier, but we're going to hold the handles and we're gonna go ahead and take this through 10 banded bicep curls, okay? If you don't have handles on your band, you're gonna simply grip the band itself and you're gonna pull right up to the front of your shoulders. We're gonna keep our elbows stationary right at the seam of your shirt, okay? Here we go, getting started with our chair squats. Feet are out squat distance apart, which is shoulder distance with the toes slightly angled out. Hands up at the chest, tap down, and squeeze the glutes at the top. Nowhere through this pattern do we lock out the knees. 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Great work. 6 and 7, 8, 9 and 10. Beautiful. Take your seat, scooch those hips to the back and legs kick up in front. 10 and 9, 8 and 7. Squeeze those quads. 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Feet back under. You find that squat stance. Maybe you wiggle forward and we're up. We're going to grab our band and we're going to place it. I want to mention, if you need less resistance, you're going to place your band under just one foot, but make sure it's right in the middle. And then here we go for those curls. 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Amazing, friends. All right, I think we're gonna go just like a minute or two long in our class today. If you can bear with me, grab some water. Let's loop this one more time. All right, we're back to our squats. Feet are out, shoulders distance apart with the toes slightly turned outward. Hands to the chest, snuggle them in. Find that tall upper body posture. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look at that. Great job taking your seat. Scooch back. Legs kick up forward. Here's 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Get those feet back into squat distance, and we're up. Grab that band of yours. We'll call it the bicep finale. If you used one foot, let's use the other foot on the band for this last round. Here we go, cores braced and curl to the front of the shoulders. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work, my friends. All right, this is what I always get to say to you because I want to hear from you. If you had any questions or concerns about the movements in this class or any other questions about this class, go ahead and email them to me. It's Diana@bridgefitnesstraining.com. I hope you go forward and have yourself a wonderful day, and I can't wait to catch up with you soon in my next live or recorded class. Until that time, take great care of you, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.